Folks, you may have remembered this. Seems like quite a while ago today, but I think it was only yesterday or the day prior. Biden just told a Philly radio station he's proud to be the first black woman to serve with a black president. So this was his rehab tour. This was his recovery tour from the debate. One of the major events he did, according to his interview on ABC. Here's this snippet.
I'm proud to be, as I said, the first vice president, first black woman to serve with a black president. I'm proud of the first black woman in the Supreme Court. There's just so much that we can do because together there's nothing. Look, this is the United States of America.
Oh, my God. Oh,
yeah, that went well.
That went well. So now we're going to meet the interviewers here. Just in, the Philly radio host, which Biden told he was proud to be the first black woman to serve with a black president, tells CNN she was sent the questions by the White House in advance. The man can't even answer pre-approved softball questions. Absolutely pathetic. So here is this piece of sound with the radio host saying, yes, we were given the questions in advance.
Listen to both of them. And there's something that's similar here. You each were, you asked 4 questions, and maybe that's what you were allowed to ask by the campaign or the White House. But they were essentially the same questions, both interviews, about accomplishments, progress in your respective state, what's at stake in the election, what he has to say about his debate performance, and what he would say to voters who think their vote doesn't matter or might sit this election out. Were those questions given to you by the White House, or did you have, or the campaign, or did you have to submit questions ahead of this interview?
The questions were sent to me for approval. I approved them.
Okay, so the White House sent the questions to you ahead of the interview?
Yes.
Okay.
I got several questions, 8 of them, and the 4 that were chosen were the ones that I approved.
Okay. And the reason I ask is not a criticism of either view. It's just that if the White House is trying now to prove the vim, vigor, acuity of the president, I don't know how they do that by sending questions first before the interview so that the president knows what's coming.
Well, they're not supposed to know. The public is not supposed to know that they sent the questions in advance. And this speaks to yet another reason why I'm so confident that he's going to have to cave to the pressure and drop out. You think this is the first time that the White House has given the media questions in advance of an interview?
Well,
the DNC leaked the debate
from,
questions in 2016.
To Donna Brazile, right?
They gave the Clinton campaign the debate questions. I'm sure this happens all the fucking time. In most cases, the media is in the tank for whoever the Democratic candidate is, so we never learn about it. Right. The reason this became a story is because CNN wants him out of the race, just like George Stephanopoulos wants him out of the race, just like Hollywood wants him out of the race, just like I'm sure Hakeem Jeffries and Barack Obama and all these people privately want him out of the race. That's why we're learning about this now. So this radio host was fired.
Well, you saw it 2 weeks ago. We really need to. Somebody put out a compilation of those headlines. The right wing keeps releasing cheap fakes.
Of course, yeah.
What is the Biden campaign going to do about Republican operatives manipulating video footage? That's what it was, and you're right. That's what it would be now if they didn't want him out.
Absolutely. So here it is in the Washington Post. Radio station parts ways with host who interviewed Biden with questions from his aides. Interview violates our practice, says WURD President and CEO Sarah M. Lomax. The station is not a mouthpiece for the Biden or any other administration. All right, now I can't speak to your little radio station, but I can say that in general, the mainstream media is, of course, the mouthpiece of the Democratic Party. That's obvious, which is why we almost never hear that there was some illicit cooperation behind the scenes between the candidate and the media. And if we do, it's far too late. That Donna Brazile question leak didn't happen until way after the fact. The reason we heard about this immediately is because CNN felt it was in the interest of the Democratic Party to force Biden out of the race. And so they brought these hosts on and they said, hey, were you giving questions? Yes, you were. Oh, well, that's over the line. That's outrageous. It's not outrageous. It's standard practice. You cover it up 99% of the time because you like the Democratic nominee. Now you don't like the Democratic nominee, so you're trying to force him out, so you leak this.
They wouldn't have even done the segment 2 weeks ago.
No,
they wouldn't have asked the
not.
question.
Of course not. Never, ever, ever. They're doing it because they want him out. All of these are signals that the people who run the show want him out. And this is why I'm telling you it's going to be this week or next week. I'm pretty confident in that. He might decide to drop out during the Republican convention as a nice troll to take some eyes away from the convention. You know, if he decides he's dropping out on night 2 of the RNC, that takes a lot of the focus off of the convention. I told this to Russ earlier. This might be too ballsy. But if he really wanted to troll them, he would drop out as soon as Trump starts his convention speech. Like, as soon as Trump starts talking, drop out. This way you get all the eyes off the speech. But that might be too on the nose, Russell.
I think it would be too on the nose. I don't know that they'll do it during the convention because that could play like he's scared of Trump.
I mean, doesn't matter how it plays on his end. He's out.
I think it's gonna be like the Iranians releasing the hostages when Reagan got elected.
That's right. I mean, I think that might be a good time to do it, just to take some eyeballs off the convention. But we're gonna hear, or very early this week, about what was said in the Hakeem Jeffries meeting. There's going to be, I would assume, more senators joining Mark Warner. There's already been more Congress people. All of their bases of institutional power have turned on him. So there's only so far you can go without them. Like, you just can't run a campaign with no money and no support. And so that's why I think his days are numbered as a candidate.
Please clap.